Long before cities, farms, or metal weapons, our ancestors shared the landscape with animals built to kill. Cave lions larger than modern lions, saber-toothed cats armed with enormous fangs, giant hyenas with jaws powerful enough to crush bone, massive bears that could stand taller than a human, crocodiles wading beneath muddy water, eagles strong enough to attack small children. Even packs of wild dogs may have competed with humans for the same prey. Millions of years ago, many of our ancestors lived in environments where forests met grasslands. Trees offered safety from some threats, but food often had to be found on the ground. The moment an early human climbed down from a tree, the rules changed. Humans had none of these advantages. An early hominin could not outrun a big cat. It could not overpower a giant hyena. It could not defend itself with bare hands against a bear. Even a single bite could mean death, not only from blood loss, but from infection. The most dangerous predators did not attack carelessly. They watched, they waited, they searched for weakness, a child who wandered too far from the group, an injured adult walking slowly, a lone forager bending down to gather food, a sleeping camp placed too close to water. These were opportunities. Some of the oldest evidence of predation appears directly on ancient bones. Fossils of early hominins sometimes carry puncture marks, tooth impressions, or damage consistent with carnivore attacks. One famous skull of a young hominin from South Africa has marks that may have been made by a large bird of prey. Other remains suggest that big cats and other carnivores sometimes killed, dragged away, or consumed human ancestors. To predators, early humans were not legendary warriors. They were prey. But humans had something unusual. They could notice patterns and share what they learned. A predator leaves signs: bent grass, fresh tracks, droppings, scratches on bark, silence among birds, the smell of decay, a distant alarm call from monkeys or antelope. The individuals who recognized these warnings had a better chance of surviving, and when they communicated danger to others, the entire group benefited. A sudden shout could freeze a child in place. A hand signal could redirect the group. Stones thrown into tall grass could reveal something hiding nearby. A circle of adults could protect the young. This may have been one of the earliest arms races between humans and predators. The predators became better at stalking. Humans became better at detecting them. At night, the danger increased. Darkness gave many carnivores an advantage. Cats could move quietly. Hyenas could approach in groups. Humans with poor night vision and vulnerable sleeping bodies had to find ways to create safety. Before the controlled use of fire became common, groups may have slept in trees, on cliffs, inside narrow shelters, or in places that were difficult for large animals to enter. But each refuge had risks. A cave could already belong to a bear. A rock overhang could contain hyenas. A tree might protect against a lion, but not against a climbing leopard. Then fire changed everything. A campfire provided more than warmth. It created a visible boundary. Flames, smoke, noise, and human activity could discourage many predators from approaching. The fire also allowed groups to remain awake after sunset. Repair tools, share food, and watch the darkness together. But fire was not a perfect shield. A hungry predator might still circle the camp. Sparks could fade, wood could run out, rain could extinguish the flames. Someone had to stay alert. Imagine the scene. A small group sleeps close together. Children lie near the center. The fire burns low. One adult wakes to a sound beyond the light. Two eyes reflect in the darkness. A shape moves behind the grass. No one rushes forward alone. The group rises. They shout. They throw burning branches. Stones fly into the night. Spears point outward. The predator must decide whether one meal is worth the risk of injury. That decision was critical. A large carnivore can kill a human, but even a small wound can be disastrous for the predator. A damaged paw, a broken tooth, or an injured eye can prevent it from hunting. Humans did not need to be stronger. They only needed to appear dangerous enough that the attack was no longer worth the cost. This is where cooperation became a weapon. One human with a sharp stick is vulnerable. 10 humans with sharp stick stones fire, and loud voices are a different kind of animal. Early spears allowed humans to keep teeth and claws at a distance. Simple wooden weapons may have been used first for defense, scavenging, and hunting. Later, sharpened stone points made spears more effective. Even if a spear did not kill a predator instantly, it could injure the animal, drive it away, or prevent it from reaching the group. Throwing stones also mattered. Humans have unusually good shoulders, hands, and visual coordination for accurate throwing. A rock striking the head or body of a stalking cat could interrupt an attack. More importantly, several people throwing at once could create confusion and fear. Yet confrontation was still the last choice. The smartest strategy was often avoidance. Early humans learned where predators hunted and when they were active. They avoided dense vegetation where cats could ambush them. They approached water carefully because crocodiles could strike from below the surface. They traveled in groups across exposed ground. They kept children close. They may have selected campsites with wide visibility and multiple escape routes. They also listened to other animals. In a dangerous landscape, every species becomes part of an alarm network. Antelope staring in one direction may have spotted a lion. Birds suddenly leaving the trees may signal movement below. Monkeys calling loudly may reveal a leopard. Humans who understood these signals could detect danger before seeing it. But predators were not only enemies. They were also competitors. Humans and carnivores wanted many of the same things: meat, water, shelter, and access to carcasses. A dead elephant horse or large antelope could feed many mouths, but the smell also attracted lions, hyenas, and other scavengers from far away. Imagine a group of early humans discovering a fresh carcass. The meat is valuable, but the killers may still be nearby. Vultures circle overhead. Hyenas call in the distance. Do the humans approach? They might first watch from a safe distance. They might wait for the main predator to leave. They might rush and cut away the richest pieces with stone tools, break open bones for marrow, and escape before the carnivores returned. Sometimes humans probably lost the carcass. Sometimes they may have driven smaller scavengers away. And eventually, as tools, coordination, and confidence improved, humans became powerful competitors capable of taking food from other predators. This was a dangerous transition. A lion defending a kill could attack without warning. A group of hyenas could overwhelm isolated humans. A cave bear disturbed inside its shelter could become almost impossible to stop. But the reward was enormous. Meat provided energy. Fat supported the body and brain. Marrow inside large bones remained valuable even after much of the flesh was gone. Competition around carcasses may have pushed humans to become faster thinkers, better communicators, and more organized risk takers. Over time, Some human groups began to change the balance of power. They improved their weapons. They learned to plan ambushes. They used fire to shape the landscape. They hunted in coordinated groups. They occupied caves once used by carnivores. They defended food more aggressively. Predators that once hunted humans now faced humans who could hunt them. But why would early people kill a giant predator? Sometimes for protection. A carnivore that repeatedly approached a camp threatened everyone. Sometimes for access to a cave or territory. Sometimes for fur, teeth, claws, or meat. And perhaps sometimes for status, ritual, or revenge. A predator's skin could provide warmth. Teeth and claws could become ornaments. Defeating a dangerous animal may also have carried social meaning, proving courage or skill. Still, we should not imagine humans winning every encounter. Many attacks left no fossil evidence. A person carried away and eaten may disappear completely from the archaeological record. Entire groups may have changed routes or abandoned camps because one predator became too dangerous. Children were especially vulnerable. Protecting them required constant attention. This may have strengthened social bonds and encouraged shared childcare. The survival of the young depended not only on parents, but on the vigilance of the group. Even human bodies may still carry traces of this ancient fear. We are quick to notice sudden movement. Darkness makes us uneasy. We instinctively focus on eyes, teeth, growls, and shapes hidden in grass. Children often fear monsters outside the firelight, under the bed, or beyond the door. These reactions may reflect a world where unseen predators were real. Yet fear alone did not save us. Humans survived because fear became information. A sound became a warning. A track became a story. A failed attack became a lesson. A dead companion became a reason to change behavior. Knowledge could pass from one generation to the next. Do not sleep near that cave. Do not approach the river at dusk. Keep the fire alive. Watch the tall grass. Stay close to the group. These simple rules may have carried the experience of countless dangerous encounters. Eventually, in many parts of the world, the relationship between humans and giant predators changed completely. Some large carnivores declined or vanished as climate shifted, habitats changed, prey populations moved, and human pressure increased. The exact causes were complex, but humans had become a major force in the landscape. The former prey species was now reshaping entire ecosystems, but the victory came at a cost. When giant predators disappeared, food webs changed. Prey animals faced less pressure. Competition patterns shifted. Humans inherited a world with fewer creatures capable of challenging them. Today, most people will never hear a cave lion breathing outside their shelter. We sleep behind walls, cross rivers on bridges, and walk through darkness with electric light. Yet the old fear remains, because for most of human evolution, the night did not belong to us. We survived, not because we became the strongest animal, but because we learned to cooperate, communicate, make tools, control fire, and transform danger into shared knowledge. When early humans met giant predators, they did not always win, but they remembered, and in the long struggle between claws and intelligence, memory may have been our greatest weapon.